Cool, and what am I missing? Yeah, I guess we can start early because we're only missing Sam and he's not here. So I guess the first thing I will do is, hi guys, I'm Mr. Care. I'm going to be your world history teacher this year. Maybe you saw me at the middle school last year, right? I was in my little trailer, so I didn't really get out to the main building very often. And yeah, I mean, the 8th grade wing and the 6th grade wing were not even close to each other, right? So if you ever have any questions or anything, I know you might not have your school computers and stuff yet. You can always email me here, right? I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll check out on the weekends, but not all the time, so work with me, right? I have a personal life. The first thing you should always have a quick look at when you join the classroom, right here. So basically, obviously we have like a calendar here and stuff, but the most important part is right here. You guys are tracked B and D, right? You guys come Thursday, Friday. So this will always be your homework and what is due and the due date. So you have a homework assignment tonight, super easy, don't worry about it. And you have one that you need to bring to, oh, sorry, you won't be able to do that because you won't have your computers yet. So when you come back to school on Thursday, you'll have another assignment, right? For example, this is A and C, so these guys come Monday and Tuesday. Right? This is their next week's homework. So if you're ever curious about what you're doing next week, you'll always be here because you guys are Thursday. So your homework will always be here every week on a Sunday on Google Classroom. I will also post all of this as well. So you have three places, because also on PowerSchool. You have PowerSchool, Google Classroom, and this board. So please don't tell me you didn't know that you did. Because it's in 3 places, right? If I'm grading your papers, right? This will always be how I'm grading them. So if you want to get a 4 on an assignment, you can just come over here and have a read, and you'll know what you need to do. This is the same with Google Classroom. These will be on Google Classroom. So you guys will always know what you need to do. Any questions about this rule board thing? No? All right, so just always have a look. It's also going to be on the computer. It's just, I'm always giving you a heads up so that you guys know what you should be doing. The next thing I will do is I'm going to give you this paper. Right, this is your homework. If you could please put your name on the top of the paper, that would be really helpful.
Thank you.
No problem. So put your name on the top of the paper. Your homework assignment is to take this home. Give it to mom, dad, parent, guardian. Have them sign it. Bring it in. We start the year with a 4. Not bad, right? Pretty easy assignment. All you have to do is have them sign right here. Put the date. Please have your name on the top as well, please. Because sometimes I can't read the signature, right? And then I don't know whose it is. So, let's go over this paper just a little bit. So, let's start here at the bottom of this page. So this is the school grading policy. It's a little bit different than the middle school, so it's really important we talk about it now. So, as per school policy, all freshmen are able to remediate 4 times. That means if you fail an assignment and you want to do it again, you can. And you can only do that 4 times in 1 semester. So if you, in your first month, do that, then guess what? For the rest of the semester, you can't remediate. So be careful, okay? After a semester finishes, you get 4 again, right? If you look on the next page, it will not accept late work unless you want to use a remediation. So If I give you a big paper and you turn it in late, well, it's a 0. But if you want to use a remediation, you can. All right. But the only problem is the school policy says if you remediate an assignment, it cannot be higher than a 3. So if you have a 2.8 on an assignment, should you remediate it? Probably not, right? 2.5 is passing. 2.8 is what you have. The highest you can get is a 3. So probably not, right? Be smart about how you use them. It's better to remediate a test or a paper than it is to remediate a homework assignment, right? Because the test will be worth more points. And plagiarism. So if you're copying, pasting other people's work or cheating, you get a 0 and you go to the office. All right, these are all school rules. All right, not my rules, school rules. Any questions about that? Okay, cool. So that's all I'm going to do about reading this. Like I said, this is for your mom, dad, parent, guardian to sign and bring back. If you're interested in reading it, that's up to you, but let's just move on to some other stuff. So, welcome to World History. Does anybody in this classroom have Mr. Ball as a homeroom teacher? No? Okay, so this is myself and Mr. Ball. He's the physics teacher upstairs. When you're older, junior, senior, you'll probably have him for some of your classes. This is him and I at Mount Everest. Try not to freeze to death. So let's go over today and tomorrow. Today, we're going to go over your COVID rules, right? I know it must be really boring to hear about COVID every single class, but I have to do it, right? We got to be safe. We're going to discuss my classroom expectations, what I expect when you're in my class, right? Because every teacher is different, right? I'll introduce myself a little bit, and then we'll have like a question answer or game time. Tomorrow, we're going to go over what I expect when you're writing for me. We're going to practice it, and then I'm going to give you this assignment. And then you'll have class time to work on, right? Because why not? Later, we'll go over other stuff. You guys don't have computers yet, so it's really hard for me to go over these other things. So that'll be at a different time. All right, so here are my COVID rules, right? I don't want to be, but I kind of have to be strict on the rules. Just because my mom and dad are old, my uncle's old. I got lots of old people in my family. And I'm sure you guys do too, right? So it's a pain in the butt and it's not great, but we have to kind of change how we live to kind of protect people who are a little bit older than ourselves. So if I give you a warning or you're like really breaking these rules, you're out of the class. All right, I'll send it to the office. Like I said, if I give you a warning, please listen to it. Okay, I'm giving you a warning because I'm trying to be the nice guy and not just going, what are you doing? Like, please just listen to it. You guys are old enough to know that, right? If you take off your mask, boom, you're out. What I mean is if you, I don't know, have a panic attack or freak out and just like throw your mask off and, oh, this is BS. Da, da. Nope, not handling that. You're out. All right. If you need a mask break, fine. That's cool. Tell me. There's a safe mask off zone where you can take a mask break down near the office if you need one. Just let me know. You have your mask on for a long time today. Right. You know, if you just need to get a drink of water, you want to go to the bathroom, just like let me know. All right. I'm not going to be a super stickler about all of that stuff. I'm gonna treat you like adults because you guys are basically adults. All right. You're almost adults. Mask needs to cover your nose. Okay. You have nostrils, right? Stuff gets up there, right? You breathe through it. So please have it cover your nose. That's important to me. If you know you're going to sneeze or cough, if you want to go out of the classroom to do it, that's cool. Right? Give me a heads up. Some people people know if they're going to sneeze, right? They're like, "Ugh." If you know that, that's cool. I get that. If you got to though, try, it's gross. I'll get you a new mask. Like, I have tons of masks. If you sneeze in your mask and you think it's all gross, or you cough in your mask and it's uncomfortable, I have a bunch of masks on my desk. I'll just give you another one. Right? I do want you to be comfortable, but I also want you to be safe. If your mask breaks, just tell me. I'll get you another mask. Right? That's not a problem. These ones are up to you. Okay, this is if you would like to do it. If you come in and you want to use hand sanitizer, that's fine. If you think your desk is dirty, or you think your desk is unclean, or it makes you feel uncomfortable, tell me. I will spray it, and then you guys can wipe it down. The reason why I will spray it is that way my hands are the only hands that touch it. All right, once again, that's to keep you guys safe. But that's up to you. If you're okay and you think you feel comfortable with where you're sitting and that it's clean and tidy, then that's fine. You don't need to spray it. That's completely your choice. All right. Any questions about the COVID rules? No? Okay. Like I said, I don't want to have to do this all the time and talk about this over and over and over again. So I'm sorry, just had to do it this one time. So let's get on to something different. Okay, these are my class expectations when you're in this classroom. Like I said, I'm going to treat you guys like adults. So do I need to tell you to not smoke in the boys' room? Do I need to tell you to not stick gum under tables or pick your nose? Do I really have to say those things? Really? Like, do I have to? No, you guys are adults. Or you should be able to know, like, don't fight, don't smoke, don't drink, don't do drugs. Like, you know that kind of stuff. You've been told that for how many years now? So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to trust that you guys are adults enough to handle that. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about what I expect. So no racism, no sexism. Does anybody know what xenophobia means? Okay. Yeah, it's a word that's becoming more and more common. So xenophobia is being unkind, unfair, bad to a group of people. They don't have to be one race. They don't have to be, how would I want to look at it? Okay, so for example, if I were to say something like, oh, these foreigners from out of the country are coming to take our jobs and they don't even want to be American. That's xenophobia. I'm saying those foreigners. Now, those foreigners could be black, white, Asian, purple, orange. It could be anything, right? But the idea is I'm saying that group of people, and I treat that group of people badly. All right? That's not going to be acceptable in my class. Right? And I don't think it's acceptable in the world. Right? No, that's not going to work. I have zero tolerance. If you're being racist or sexist, I'm not giving you a warning. You're just out. Right? To explain it this way, I lived in a country where people were racist to me every day for like 9 years. Right? Everybody was Asian and I was like a white guy. And they were racist to me for like basically every day. I went to buy food, went to the supermarket, people were just jerks. It sucks, it feels awful, it makes you mentally feel awful. I'm not gonna accept it, all right? That's just be all end all, don't do it. Have an open mind when we're talking about the past, the present, and the future. Right? We're studying a time that's like 4,000 years ago. Is our thinking and their thinking the same? No. Right? To put it this way, we're going to start with Greece this year. And in Greek story, Zeus is the king of the gods. But Zeus is also awful, and he turns himself into animals and kind of rapes women. right? Yeah, he's not a good guy, right? Also, we're going to study Greece. In Athens and in Greece, older men often had sexual relations with really young boys. We all agree that's pretty gross, right? We all think that's bad. That's okay. You can have your opinions. That's fine. But it's hard for us to judge them because they didn't have these ideas that we have now, right? So we have to be open-minded, even though it's gross. I'll be honest with you, you're going to notice as we go through this year, until Christianity came into our world and until Christianity was made, the Romans, the Greeks, oh man, they got some dirty, nasty, weird stuff, right? It's okay to have that opinion, but we can't judge it, right? It's hard for us. We don't live in that time. So try to be open-minded, even when stuff is weird, because we're going to learn a lot of weird stuff this year. Plagiarism will be punished, heavily punished. Just don't copy other people's work. It's not that hard, right? If I ask you for an answer from a book, should you use their exact words? No. Reword what they said. Okay? That's what I'm asking for. I want you to be creative and be yourself. I know what the book says. I've read the book. I want to know what you have to say. That's important to me. Okay, this is one I have to be kind of serious about. Deadlines are deadlines. I don't want to hear excuses, right? I am not responsible for managing your time, right? You are responsible for managing your time. I understand if somebody in your family passes away or there's a huge emergency, of course I'm on your side. Of course, that's normal, right? I'm going to treat you like adults, so that's why I'm like this. If I was your boss and I gave you deadlines and you always miss the deadlines, would you keep your job? You'd get fired, right? I'm trying to get you ready for the real world because that's what it's going to be like. Mr. Gilbert tells me that he needs a paper on my desk by 3 o'clock. I better have it on his desk by 3 o'clock or I'm going to get in trouble, right? So it's just a part of being responsible and being an adult. If you look where Mr. Dacus is sitting with the green basket, it says phones. No phones in class, none. Never want to see them. If I see your phone, it's my phone. You can have it back at the end of the day, right? What period is this? Yeah, okay, so yeah, still most of the day. So yeah, just don't get your cell phone out, right? Just don't do it. For example, if I write something on this board, that means you need to know it, right? That means you should be taking notes. It doesn't mean you should, oh, hey, Mr. Kemp, take a photo. No, not working like that. Have to learn good study habits. Good study habits are writing important things down when you see them, not waiting and then going, oh, now I can be lazy. Finished. It's not how it's going to work, all right? I'll be honest, before I worked where I used to work, before I worked in the USA, if a teacher saw a cell phone, they could smash them. Yeah, it was super fun, but I can't do it here. Don't get your cell phone out of class. If I could get away with smashing somebody's phone if they got it, I totally would. No phones in class, all right? That's like my huge sticking point. These are all me being serious, but now is the time for me to be me. We all have good days, bad days, right? The world keeps going, right? If you had a bad day today, change your mind because tomorrow is a new day. If you ever need anything, I'm here to help you. If you think my class is too hard, if you think I give too much homework, if you're just having trouble with the class, talk to me. I'm always open for that. And that's the same with all your freshman teachers. We are here for you, right? Being a freshman is hard. It is your first year in a new school, and now we're in a really weird time, right? After your freshman year, it is nothing but easier. right? So this is the time to get these good habits so that later on, everything's easy. So, and I'm serious about this. Be honest. If you think I'm, you know, if you think I'm being too hard on you, you think I'm grading too hard, like, tell me that, right? I need to know that. Because if you think that, you're maybe not the only student who thinks that, right? And I'm here to help all of you. Any questions about this? No, pretty straightforward. Like I said, you need to go to the bathroom, you need to get a drink of water. Raise your hand, let me know. It's all good, right? I'm not going to. I know some teachers at the middle school, like, look at the time you come back, and like, why were you in the bathroom so long? Well, if you want to spend all class in the bathroom, you're only hurting yourself, right? You're not hurting me because I'm still teaching, right? So just make the right choices. Alrighty, now we get to the less boring stuff. You guys saw me at the middle school last year? Yes, yes. What do you know about me? You must have heard something, right? You mentioned that you heard the phone thing, right? Yeah, so because a lot of my 6th grade students thought that was crazy. So yeah, what else? Did you hear anything else about me? No? Nothing? Okay, that's fine. So I guess I would use this time to introduce myself a little bit. I think it's important that you know who I am. What did Mr. Gilbert say during the assembly about myself? Do you remember?
We traveled the world.
Yeah, river, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. You're completely right. You're completely right. So what do you think the red is?
Where you've been.
Yeah, exactly. So this is why I want to teach world history. This is why I like teaching world history. I've been there, right? I haven't been to South America yet, and I haven't been to, this is technically Oceania. I haven't been to Oceania yet, or Antarctica. But yeah, this is why I'm teaching world history. The world is a super cool place. There's so much crazy, amazing, bonkers kind of stuff out there that'll just blow your mind, right? And even the most simple thing that we do every day could look 100% different in another part of the world. I'm trying to think of a really good example. All right, so in Asia, if you're going to take an elevator, and here's your panel. What do you notice about this elevator? Something weird. They don't have force. Because in Asian languages, Japanese and Chinese, 4 has the same sound as the word death. So if you go to a hospital, there'll never be a 4th floor. Because who would want their grandmother going to the death floor? So even just the fact that that number means something different, right? Would you ever think that? No. So that's what I mean. The world is kind of a crazy, interesting place, and we should know more about it. So although I've been to a lot of these countries, I've only lived in 4 of them. The USA for like 22, 23 years maybe. England for 2 or 3 years. Czech Republic for 1 year, and China for 9 years, or 8 years. Almost something like that, 8, 9, 10 years. So that is kind of where my background is. So do you have any questions about any of the countries or anything like that? No? Okay. Does anybody in here play soccer? Yeah. Did you play soccer last year? No. Okay.
I played it my whole life.
Okay. Did you play for the middle school last year?
Yeah.
Did you see me last year?
Weren't you a ref?
I was the only ref with long hair. Yeah. So
Soccer is a huge part of my life. It always has been. I hope it always will be. For example, this is me going to watch a match in England with my favorite team, which is right on above the window, Manchester United. And over here we have my favorite player. So soccer is huge for me. I was lucky enough to play here at Mountain Valley High School. I played varsity for 4 years. I was lucky enough to move to England and then get paid a little bit to play there. And yeah, I've been really lucky to live in cities with really big soccer communities. For example, this game had 75,000 people at it. Pretty awesome. And the other sport that I love as much as I love soccer is this sport. Anybody have an idea what it is? Yeah, rugby. So because I played soccer here at Mount Valley High School, I couldn't play American football because you couldn't do both sports at the same time. So it was always a sport I always wanted to play, but I never could. So when I got older, eventually I started to play rugby, and I don't play anymore. Yeah, I'm too old, and it hurts too much. So I don't play that anymore. But yeah, this was my team in China. We were the best team in China for 1 year, and then the next year we got second place or something. But yeah, lots of fun. All these people, those three are Colombian and they are Chinese, but everybody else is from a different country. So it was pretty cool to have 50 people from 36 countries, but everybody spoke English. We traveled around and we hung out together, and even now I still talk to these guys almost every day. So yeah, it's a great sport, builds a great community, just like soccer. Soccer has a really close community, and both great sports. Any questions about sports or anything like that? No? All right, who's this? What are these people? Perfect, the Beatles. That's another thing I really am passionate about is music. So of course, this is the Beatles Museum. You guys probably don't know who Dragon Force are. Yeah, that's the singer from Dragon Force. So I saw them in China, and I'm just huge into music, any kind, except for country music. Other than that, it's all good. About music, if you're interested in music, I've said this to every class, and I really mean it. If you're interested in music, please try and get a class with Mr. Prescott. He is a guitar genius. If it has strings on it, he can play it. And not only can he play it, he will just destroy it. I mean, if you like Dragon Force, Mr. Prescott can play their stuff. He's that. Oh, it's just stupidly difficult. So yeah, our music department is amazing. Mr. Prescott is amazing. Please, 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 if you get the opportunity, and you want to learn an instrument, he's your man. So you play guitar? Yeah. Nice. I play bass. So yeah, I mean, similar enough.
I played bass last year, but somebody gave me it's a G&L Tribute 350 this year.
Nice. Nice. Bass is great. I played guitar for maybe 10 years, and now I'm trying to learn bass. And how to say it? It's just there's a little bit more technique. Yeah, you have to be more particular. For example, with your strumming patterns. The one thing I find is that I play bass and sing. And the problem is when you play guitar and sing, the guitar always goes with the vocals.
Yeah, it's hard to
Oh, the worst part for me is like if you play a bass beat, normally the bass beat goes down and the singing goes up. So I'll start to try and hit a high note and I'll go, no, voice, go up. But I can't because I'm listening to the bass. So yeah, music is awesome. I listen to like pretty much everything except for country music. And Mr. Ball, the teacher I showed you at the beginning, him and I jam around all the time. So yeah, there's a lot of teachers in the school who play music. So that's awesome. Mr. Green down there, if you have not seen his room, it's like covered in guitars and Dave Matthews Band posters. Yeah, so give it a check out sometime. This is pretty cool. All All right. The other thing about myself, I'm really nerdy and really geeky. Like, I love fantasy stories and dragons and like Dungeons and Dragons. I like role-playing games. I play a ton of PS4. I have a gaming PC, not that one, but an actual like proper gaming PC. I like that kind of stuff. I grew up with it, right? When I was in kindergarten, I got my first Nintendo, and I've just been going up with consoles ever since. Yeah, if you're nerdy and you're geeky and stuff like that, that's cool.
Definitely
D&D is great. D&D is great. I mean, here's the thing to remember. You don't have to be stuck in one group. You can play music, you can play sports, you can do both, right? And you can still be a nerd, right? You can do all that kind of stuff, as long as you want to be yourself. And the last thing I guess we'll go over really quick. I talked about dealing with racism and stuff. Oh, you guys gonna go lunch, I think.
Good morning, everybody.
All right, well, anyway, that's my wife. She's Chinese. Boom, that slide's done. So guys, please remember those homework sheets, right? Start the year with a 4, right? Not a 0. Head on down to lunch. Enjoy your lunch, guys. Have a great day. See you later, guys. All right, well, that gives me 2 classes left. Yeah. Mhm. It's all good. Everything's weird.
Well, no, just after like I'm finding out I've been watching class last year, but I don't actually have a student in. So like they need to put me somewhere where I'm needed, obviously. But then they tell us, because there's only one lunch period now, they tell us it's like fine either 4th or 5th period, whenever it makes sense to make part of the class to do your lunch. So I don't like that because I have to cut class. But right now I'm finding out where the need is. And it's different depending on the day too, depending on whether it's the Monday, Tuesday. So I'm kind of going through my week to figure out when I should take my lunch. It might be different each half of the week kind of thing. Yeah. Because like once I get my schedule figured out, then I'll be able to. I think this is such an awkward position to figure out what class it is.
It's not only that, like, it's gonna be hard for you to know them, because only seeing them.
Exactly, yeah.
That's all weird.
So I might try to alternate. I don't know. I'll probably figure it out by the end of the week, but it's like.
I mean, I guess what will end up happening is you'll eventually find out what kids have higher need,
Right.
and then you'll have to.
And I don't even have information, like, I don't know. And I don't know how, like, I've sent some emails already to, like, the ones that are here. But
Yeah.
I don't know how to introduce myself, like, in person, so I just sent an email. I don't, like, want to make it feel weird. I think I can help you.
Yeah,
Everyone.
Sure.
So it's just, I don't know what we need help with, so I don't know how I'm going to tell me the reading or I need to be taken out for tests.
Yeah, I totally, I don't know. Yeah, no doubt. I think you should.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's just sort this out.